If you love the blues, you found your new home. The Blues Hotel. Real music. Just talking blues. Real stories. And Blues Moments in Time. The history that shaped it all. 3 podcasts. 1 home. The Blues Hotel Collective. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. From the Blues Hotel Collective, welcome to Blues Moments in Time, where every groove holds a memory and every moment echoes the truth of what came before. Today, we rewind the reel, trace the footsteps, and revisit the chapters that shaped the blues. Here is our host, Kelvin Huggins.
Welcome to Blues Moments in Time, the podcast dedicated to exploring the rich history and the cultural significance of blues music. Today, we focus on the events of February 13, a day that spans the spectrum from legal milestones to the loss of acoustic legends. Let's start with the cultural landscape. On this day in 1914, an organisation was formed that would eventually change the livelihood of every songwriter in America, ASCAP, the American Society of Composers, Authors and Publishers. For the blues musician, the road to fair pay has always been paved with broken promises. In the early days, artists sold their souls and their publishing for a bottle of whiskey or a few dollars. The founding of ASCAP established the legal bedrock that music has value. It was the first step in a century-long fight that would eventually help blues architects like Willie Dixon and Muddy Waters claim the royalties they were rightfully owed by the rock and roll giants who stood on their shoulders. Now let's turn our attention to the political climate. February 13, 1960 marked a turning point in the American South. On this morning, the Nashville student movement launched a massive sit-in campaign to desegregate lunch counters. Nashville was a music city, a hub for R&B and blues recording. As young men and women sat at counters with silent endurance, facing jeers and violence, they were embodying the dignity that the blues had always quietly demanded. This energy of resistance filtered into the music. The blues was shifting from the "My Baby Left Me" lament of the 1950s to the assertive soul-drenched anthems of the 1960s. The soundtrack of the movement was being written in real time. Of course, no discussion of blues history would be complete without exploring the music itself. We have to talk about 1940 and 1942. On February 13, 1942, the virtuoso Lonnie Johnson stepped into a Chicago studio to record He's a Jelly Roll Baker. Johnson is often forgotten link between the Delta and the city. His guitar lines on this track are sophisticated, fluid and urban. He was laying the blueprint that B.B. King would later follow. Just 2 years prior, on the same day in 1940, Earl Fatha Hines took W.C. Handy's mournful St. Louis blues and injected it with a shot of adrenaline, recording Boogie Woogie on St. Louis Blues. It was a reminder that the blues isn't just for crying, it's also for dancing. February 13 has also marked the beginning of life for some incredible musicians. In 1945, King Floyd was born in New Orleans. While he's famous for his funk hit Groove Me, Floyd's voice was soaked in the blues tradition of his home state. We also celebrate the birth of Peter Tork in 1942. You might know him as a monkey, but before TV fame, Tork was a Greenwich Village folk blues purist, picking banjo and guitar in the style of Mississippi John Hurt, keeping the acoustic tradition alive for a pop audience. Sadly, February 13 has also been a day of loss. The most significant for us is the death of Fulton Allen, better known to the world as Blind Boy Fuller, on this day in 1941. Fuller was the king of the Piedmont blues, that ragtime-infused, finger-picking style from the East Coast. He was only 33 years old. When he died, the era of the solo, acoustic street corner bluesman began to fade, soon to be replaced by the electric roar of Chicago. And we also remember the passing of Waylon Jennings on this day in 2002. He may have won a cowboy hat, but his outlaw spirit, the refusal to be owned by a label or a genre, was pure blues. And that's all the time that we have for today's episode of Blues Moments in Time. Join us next time as we continue to explore the fascinating history of the blues.